Our very first musical guest is Shelly Lares. When I stress musical guest, is because of all she's done in the last 40 years. She retired, okay,
from the road.
Okay?
From the road.
And you're going to be dedicating your time to helping others, other young artists continue in the tradition, the Shelly Lares.
Right.
Tell us about
I would say any artist, not necessarily young per se,
Right.
but you know, now that I've had 40 years under my belt on the road, now being a record label owner, and which is Shell Shock Records 3, LMD Productions, which is my producing side, and now I'm going into video production as well. So they're different hats, and then having my recording studio that'll be up and running the end of February. That's just going to be a different part that I have to look into. But I've already been inundated by artists and people just knocking on my door. Can we work with you now? Can we work with you now? And that was the whole point, to get off the road so that I could have enough time to concentrate on artist development and all sorts of things that we need in our industry, as well as helping organizations in the Tejano industry who always call me for consulting. And so there's a lot of things. Plus, you guys may have heard that I wanted to do something outside of music. That's kind of been my passion, to go to school. And the only other thing I loved was nursing. So in the beginning, probably here within the next 2 months, my cousin owns 4 hospice companies, some in San Antonio and Eagle Pass, and I'm going to be doing music therapy for patients for a little while.
Amazing.
So yeah, I'm super excited about that. In the meantime, because I really don't start school till April, but I'm already releasing 4 new artists in February. I have one every week.
Oh my goodness.
The first one is Annika. This will be our second single we're doing with her. Her first one had great success. Si Mañana No Me Ves was on the Tejano Go Countdown for 20 weeks.
Yes.
Her first week out, she hit the countdown at number 20.
Isn't that crazy?
And I was so proud of her. Yeah. So we're releasing her first single. I also have an amazing guy from Palm Springs, California. He's on TikTok known as El Gallo. His name is David, but he goes by El Gallo Dez. Okay. I'm releasing his first Tejano song ever.
Wow.
And then I also have Alicia C., who I just produced an amazing mariachi song for her. And then the final one for February is Christy Lux. She's a hip-hop artist normally, but wanted to do Tejano. So I'm like bringing all the new ones into Tejano. It's kind of cool because, I think, well, I'm the only girl really producing in Tejano, so I think there's a really, I don't know, with women it's just different. You just,
and I wanted to talk to you about that. This is not the first time that you hear, that I hear of Shelly helping other artists. This is something that we've heard. If you're in the business forever, she's always helped other artists, so now you can, of course, help them even more. But I wanted to talk to you exactly about what you just brought up. Being in the industry as a female, I know, I want you to take us through that journey and tell us some of those challenges that you face. I want you to share that with our audience.
They've been there. I mean, you always get compared, like right out of the gate. You get compared to someone else, But Mom and Dad and I always focused on my uniqueness and what Shelly Lares was going to bring to the table. And, having my father kind of be in the forefront of, of navigating my career, if you will. Dad didn't play. He didn't play. Very old school, very, loving, disciplinarian, structured man, businessman. And so I learned from him a lot. And I think he kind of helped set the tone for me as far as the respect level is concerned. So people knew not to mess with me or be disrespectful, as a lot of women are in our industry, whether it's sexually or just they feel like we're just not good enough to close shows or whatever there is. But I've had a few, but I've spoken up for myself, and I think people learned really early on that I'm here to entertain people, and I was here to do what I love, and but I wasn't going to take the nonsense for sure.
Well, I tell you what, there's going to be no nonsense with you when you're working with your new artists moving forward. But one of the things that we wanted to mention in the show is production value, and a lot of times Tejano is discredited with the quality of the music. Bob Gallarza, who is the late Bob Gallarza, incredible guitarist, he played with incredible bands from throughout the country, both Tejano and other genres. Always would say that we missed the boat in many instances because of the quality. It was mediocrity.
There's a lot of things. Business side too, there's a lot. The list is long.
But you produced a video that has gotten the attention of a lot of those in other genres in the Latino music industry. And you used an old song.
Yeah.
And made it into what would make it a new idea, and a great idea.
Yes.
The Shelly Lares. It's called Sal Si Puedes.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit before we go to
as a matter of fact, Bob Gallarza called me when I did that song because he wanted to know who produced it. And I said, I did. He's like, well, who did all the arrangement? I said, I did. And he was like, you know, I don't know. Here we go again with underestimating, you know. But you know, women are pretty powerful.
Thank you.
It was originally done in 1937, and I had to research a lot of. I mean, I dug really deeply. I couldn't find Latino 30s and 40s music like I could American music.
Right.
And so I finally came across Sal Si Puedes, and I was like, this is the sound I wanted because I love big band.
Yes.
So I wanted to implement a 9-piece orchestra, not Tejano orchestra, like big band orchestra. So, but I produced the beginning to sound like you're back in 1937, listening to the radio. They used to do a lot of musical interludes. I guess like music beds, what you would say now. And the announcer, how he would sound, and then I did a 3-piece a cappella harmony to make it sound like the Andrews Sisters, and then it's into modern day time. But visually, you know, that's when COVID hit, and I wasn't able to do the video like I wanted to. I did it for an award show for Premios Tejano Mundial, but then I wound up redoing another one because I connected Mil Besos to that as well, which was a bolero version of my favorite song that I ever recorded.
Love that song.
But no, I didn't invent the genre. I just brought it to modern times.
Well, here it is.
Thank you for doing that.
Here it is. Let's check it out. Sal Si Puedes with Shelly Lares.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure, the latest from Shelly Lares, Sal Si Puedes.
Eres muy rico, Sal Si Puedes, no te olvidaré. En tu recinto muchas veces con ella soñé. Eres muy rico, Sal Si Puedes, no te olvidaré. En tu recinto muchas veces con ella soñé.
Quiero gozar, quiero vivir en Sal Si Puedes, tierra de ilusión donde el amor nunca se muere. Ven y verás de corazón a Sal Si Puedes, y tú cantarás con gran amor a tus quereres. Eres muy rico, Sal Si Puedes, no te olvidaré. En tu recinto muchas veces con ella soñé. Eres muy rico, Sal Si Puedes, no te olvidaré. En tu recinto muchas veces con ella soñé. Tierra de amor, Sal Si Puedes, por ti soñé. Sal Si Puedes. Bella mansión, Sal Si Puedes, tierra de fe. Quiero gozar, quiero vivir en Sal Si Puedes, tierra de ilusión donde el amor nunca se muere. Ven y verás de corazón a Sal Si Puedes, y tú cantarás con gran amor a tus quereres. Eres muy rico, Sal Si Puedes, no te olvidaré. En tu recinto muchas veces con ella soñé. Eres muy rico, Sal Si Puedes, no te olvidaré. En tu recinto muchas veces con ella soñé. Sal Si Puedes. Tierra de amor, Sal Si Puedes, por ti soñé. Sal Si Puedes. Bella mansión, Sal Si Puedes, tierra de fe. Eres muy rico, sal, si puedes, no te olvidaré. En tu recinto muchas veces con ella soñé. Eres muy rico, sal, si puedes, no te olvidaré. En tu recinto muchas veces con ella soñé.